welcome to today's video on a course principle of microeconomics. This is another video where we are going to treat monetary system. We know that monetary system is central to the normal working of an economy. Any country with robust and strong financial system, they used to face less hitches in how the economy interplay, because monetary system, more especially the apex in the monetary system, the financial system, the banking system, help in facilitating payments. So in this chapter, we are going to treat some issues related to monetary system, like what is money, and what are the functions that money plays, and what are the features and the characteristics of money. Then what is central bank, or alternatively Federal Reserve? It depends on the nomenclature. Some countries they are calling it central bank, while other countries were calling it as a Federal Reserve. So the two, we're going to use them interchangeably, and I expect not to cause any confusions among the students. Then what roles do banks play in the monetary system, and how do banks create money? Then how does Federal Reserve control money supply, or how does central bank control money supply? These are the things that we're going to look at in this very video. Before introductions of money, a lot of commodities were used in making payments. A lot of commodities are used to facilitate transactions, and transactions that involve direct swapping of one goods with another is called barter trade, whereby there is no money, you swap one good for another good. For instance, someone that needs a pen and he produces a paper, he can just look for someone that produces a pen and at the same time wants a paper. Then such transactions can occur. Two ones must coincide. And in such a situation whereby this condition doesn't hold, then transaction cannot hold. So with money, we need not to face such kind of difficulties in looking at people that need our good, and at the same time they purchases the good that we need before transactions can occur. So with introductions of money, it helps reduce the difficulties experienced during barter economy. So money, without money, trade will require barter exchange of one good or services for another, just like in the slides. It's trying to show that without money, the only way of doing transactions is through exchange of one good for another. Then every transaction requires double coincidence of one. Sometimes two ones are unlikely to occur. I may have certain commodities and I need another commodities, and unfortunately the one that possesses the good I need, he might not be interested in my goods. And another instance, that might be that the goods I need is indivisible. For instance, a cow. If I need let's say a cow, while I produces a yam, then how many tubes of yam can I give in order to obtain a cow? So we can see that such kind of transaction can become sometimes cumbersome. And if after all the effort I put in getting one that possesses goods and services that I need, then it may happen that he is not interested in that transaction at that point in time. He might say that, oh, he need my commodity, but he want the transactions to take place maybe after 2 months. And some of the goods that we produce are perishable in nature, cannot be stored, like vegetables, tomatoes, fruit, and so on and so forth, cannot be stored for a long period of time. So if transaction cannot occur at that point in time, they got damaged, and the producers of such kind of goods and services, they lose. These are some of the defects of barter trade in the United States introductions of money. So most people will have to spend time in searching for order to trade with huge waste of resources and so on and so forth are involved in barter exchange. So these kind of things are unnecessary if we have money. All we need to do is We sold the goods and services that we produce at a market price, and in return we obtain money. And with money we can use to buy all the goods and services that we need. So money is what is anything that serves the medium of exchange, anything that facilitates payment, anything that is generally acceptable as a medium of exchange is money. Then what are the functions of money? Money plays a lot of functions, and the most primary functions of money are those that try to solve the problems of barter exchange. Thus, we call them primary functions or traditional functions of money. And there are other functions, secondary functions. Secondary functions of money are more of those that facilitate that facilitate transactions and trades. Then the other functions of money are called miscellaneous functions of money, which are more of contingencies and so on and so forth. So we are going to see how these three functions of money, how money perform these three major functions, or the traditional functions. First is money. Going by the slide, money is a medium of exchange and items buyer gives to a seller when they want to purchase goods and services. So any items that a buyer gives to a seller in order to purchase goods and services is called money. The G and S in the slide is goods and services. Goods and services. So any items that a buyer gives to a seller when they want to purchase goods and services is called money. Then another functions of money is what? Unit of account. Money is a yardstick people use to purchase goods and services. I mean, it's a yardstick people use to post prices and record debts. So money is the units with which the price of goods and services are expressed. And that measures the value of goods and services in question. So any price attached to goods and services are usually reflected in money. And the money assigned to such price measure the actual value of such goods. So money serves as what are the units of account. Then another function is store of value. An item people can use to transfer purchasing power from present to future. With money, all the goods and services that we produce, even if they are perishable in nature, they got damaged, we sell them and store our wealth in form of money. So in that respect, money store value, because without money, some of these goods can easily get damaged and we lose. But with money, we sold our goods and keep them in what? And keep them in monetary, keep the value in monetary, and that money store the value. Then what are the kinds of money? There were so many kinds of money, but two major kinds are what's pertinent. Money can take a form of commodity with intrinsic value. Intrinsic value are like coins, and coins whereby their value is expressed in such kind of commodities with intrinsic values are money, because coins is a commodity, so coins is a money. Then there is fiat money. Fiat money without intrinsic value are used because government decreases. So fiat money are second categories of money, and example of fiat money is what? United States. And the fiat money, the value of the items used in fiat money is not the same as the value of the item we use as the money. There is difference between what? The major difference between commodity money and fiat money is, in the fiat money, the value is entirely different with the item that we use as money. While the commodity money, like gold and coins, they have the same value as the coins. The gold has the same value that is melted to produce the coins as the money itself. These are the major difference between fiat money and the commodity money. Then next slide is money supply. By money supply, we are referring to quantity of money available in the economy, the money of stocks that is available in the economy, amount of money that is being produced by central bank or by the Federal Reserve to circulate in the economy. That is money supply. A money supply is exogenously determined. Is determined by what? By central bank, because it's the central bank that has the sole responsibility to print and mint money. So the kind of money that all in households in the economy is hold in their possessions, such money is called money supply. Then what assets should be considered as part of money supply? There were so many components of assets that we consider as part of money supply. The first is the currency, the paper bills and coins that is held by the public. All the monies held by the public, the currency. Currency is what consists of two things. One is the paper currency and the coins. So the paper and the currency and the coins holds by the public. Then demand deposit. When we say demand deposit, we are referring to a checking account. Savings account and the current account are demand deposits. Demand deposit too are part of what is called money supply. So also the current account and the fixed account, savings account constitute all forms of what? Money supply. So let's take, for example, in the United States of America, the M1, which is currency plus demand deposits, traveler's check, and other checkable deposits constitute M1. And so the M1 categories in the money supply are goods that are highly liquid, are goods that can easily convert it into what? Into cash. Easily money that we can, stocks that we can easily sell. That we can use it for payments of goods and services. So they play the functions of what? A medium of exchange of money. Then the M2, it includes time deposit and the mutual money funds. And the higher we go, the less liquidity that a commodity purchase and the more interest rate that such commodity purchase. Then central bank and monetary policy. When we say central bank, then we are referring to an institutions that facilitates, that monitor the monetary system of the economy. So central bank is mostly owned by government and is independent by nature to discharge monetary policy and oversees that smooth running of financial system. So all the banks in the economy, they maintain an account with the central bank, and the central bank is the sole bank that is responsible to print and issue coins, the currency. So central bank is an important aspect in the economy. Remember earlier I did mention that central bank can be used, central bank can at the same time be called Federal Reserves. So central bank is an institution that oversees the banking supply and regulates money supply. So it's a bank that oversees the banking system and regulates money supply. It ensures that all the commercial banks are operating properly and money supply are regulated to ensure that the economy is neither experiencing inflation nor deflation. So central bank use the money supply to fine-tune and regulate the economic activities in order to achieve overall happiness and well-being. The monetary policy is a setting of what money supply by policy makers in the central bank. So monetary policy are just a tool that is used by central bank to ensure that the economy is doing well. So the setting of money supply by policy makers in the central bank. So central bank used to determine monetary policy, money supply to ensure that the economy is doing well. Such manipulations of money supply is called monetary policy. Federal Reserve, for instance, in the United States, is responsible for ensuring that the money supply is is done in such a way that the economy is protected from having any shocks. So, it has some. The central bank has some structures with board of governors, mostly 7 governors, and some regional banks, and so on and so forth. And their main functions is what to conduct monetary policy to ensure that the economy is doing very well. So these, in essence, are the most important aspects that constitute today's lecture. It's focused by dealing with issues related to monetary system and how monetary system affect the overall economy, and what are the major plays in the monetary system. And we have seen how money is introduced in the economy and what defines money, and the features and characteristics of money, functions of money. And without money, we knew some problems that the economy is likely to face. And we have seen that money supply is determined by by central bank. Central bank is the sole institution that regulates money supply, and most of this regulation comes through conducting monetary policy to ensure that it changes the money supply to reflect the economic happening. For instance, if there is a high inflation or inflation pressure in the economy, then government through central bank can manipulate money supply, reduce money supply by implementing concessionary monetary policy to reduce the volume of money in circulation, and that will go in a long way to solve economic problems, to solve inflation. There is also ways through which central bank can implement monetary policy by implementing also interest rates. It can reduce interest rates or increase interest rates in order to achieve a desired macroeconomic objectives. And we have seen that central bank is very, very important institutions in the government, and there's no single economy that will ever play with central banks. So this is the end of today's lecture. Next, we're going to see how the economy interacts by controlling different economic players in the economy. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.